So today we are going to discuss the remaining points from that introductory part. So in the last lecture, we haven't discussed that information hiding. Okay. So what it will what will happen in case of information hiding? Yes. Can anyone? Yes, Sakshi. How it works? This particular feature with respect to C++, how it works? Information hiding. Yes, Sakshi. Akanksha.
Using the access specifiers, we can hide the functionality of the program.
We can hide the function, not only functionality, but we can hide the data members also. Okay. As per our requirement, we are going to hide members as well as functions. So this is again one kind of feature which is available inside the C++. So next feature is our inheritance. So in case of inheritance, so inheritance is the process by which object of one class is acquired the properties of objects of another class. Means this with the help of this inheritance, we are provide the reusability facility. So what do you mean by reusability? Yes, can anyone? What do you mean by reusability? How we can provide that reusability with the help of this particular inheritance?
We can use the functions and data
Member.
members of particular class in another class.
Okay, inheritance means we are going to inherit some data or functions from upper class to means from base class to derived class. Okay, so for that particular purpose, we are using this inheritance, and the basic logic for this inheritance is that we are achieving the reusability. Means suppose one particular function is available inside the base class, so no need to write that particular function again once again. So because that particular function is available for operation purpose, so just inherit that particular functionality into our base class. So add additional features to an existing class without modifying it. Okay, this is again one kind of feature which is available with respect to this inheritance. So these are the different types which are available with respect to inheritance. So by default, first type is your single inheritance. Then second one is the multi-level inheritance. Third one is the multiple inheritance. Next, fourth one is the hybrid, and last one is the hierarchical inheritance. So we will discuss all these inheritance one by one. So let us start with the first one, single inheritance. Okay. So what will happen in case of single inheritance?
There is only one derived class.
No, Sakshi. There is only one base class. Okay. One base class and one derived class. Okay. This one is related with single inheritance. So in case of single inheritance, suppose this is our base class, we call it as the A, and this is our B class. So this particular B class is going to derive, or he is going to access some functionalities, or he is going to access some uh, data members from the A class. So in this case, only one base class is available and only one derived class is available. So this particular type is called as single inheritance. Okay, so single inheritance. So next one is the multi-level inheritance. Yes, multi-level. Multi-level.
One base class and more than one derived classes.
Not more than one derived classes. Derived classes
Means
are available in
second
level wise.
class is
Yeah,
derived
level
from
wise.
derived from first derived
First
class.
one, then third class is derived from second class.
Second derived.
Okay, so we will draw here. So this is our A class. Then second one, this is our B class, and this is our C class. This is C class. So this particular A class is the parent for B class, and similarly this particular B class is nothing but parent for this particular C class. So we call it as A as a base class, then next B as a intermediate class, and last C as a derived class. Okay, so this particular level or this particular type is called as multi-level inheritance. Okay, next, multiple.
It is like single inheritance, but there are more than one derived classes.
Okay, so it is very similar with single, means yes, single. In case of multiple,
Only one level. In single level there is only one derived class, but in multiple there are more than one derived classes.
in case of multiple inheritance, so this is our A class, this is our B class. Okay, likewise there are n number of classes are there with respect to this level, and all these classes are again, all these base classes derived by single derived class. So A, B, and this is a C, and this is our main derived class. Okay, and all these classes are directly connected with this okay, means this A as a parent for this particular derived class, B as a parent for this particular derived class, and C as a. So means in case of inheritance, more than one base classes are available, but only one derived class is available in case of multiple inheritance. Okay, guys, you are just discussing that in reverse manner. Okay, so this is called as multiple inheritance. So in case of multiple inheritance, more than one base classes are available and only one derived class is available. So this one is related to multiple inheritance. So next one, next, which is that?
Hierarchical.
Hierarchical. So in case of hierarchical inheritance, or before that, okay, we will just draw the hybrid. What is meant by hybrid? Yes, hybrid inheritance. Hybrid inheritance. So hybrid inheritance is nothing but combination of combination of more than one types. Okay, so in that case, we just consider it as a class. Then next one as a okay, this is as a B class, this is a C class, and this is D class. So combination of more than one type of inheritance. Okay, so A is the class, next one is the B, next class is our C, next one is the D. So B class is going to inherit some data and functionalities from A class, and similarly C is going to inherit data and member functions from A class, and similarly D function is going to inherit the data from both these classes, either from B and and from C. And then the last type is related with inheritance, is your hierarchical inheritance. Is our hierarchical inheritance. So in that case, hierarchy. So how it will display or how it will work? Yes, hierarchical inheritance. Akanksha, Sakshi. Hierarchical inheritance. Yes, Alpesh. Hierarchical inheritance or hierarchy. So hierarchy is
It
nothing
is
but
reverse of multiple.
okay. It is a reverse of multiple, or this particular type is nothing but it will just display data is in the form of tree-like manner. Means first element is our root, then from that particular root there are derived multiple derived classes. Again, all these derived classes again derived, or these are again base class to multiple derived class. So suppose this is again A class, sorry, B, C, and D. Again, next one is our next any other class. So it will form the hierarchy. So data is available or data is distributed just like in tree-like fashion. So by default, first one is the root element, and then second one are the childs of that particular root. So this is our root, means A, and A is going to provide all the data members and facilities to B, C, and D. Next one, again B is the root for this particular E and F. So this particular structure is nothing but hierarchical. Means in this case, data is available is in the form like tree-like structure or tree-like manner. Okay, so these are the different 5 types which are available with respect to inheritance. Okay, so everyone clear? Yes, 5 different types with respect to inheritance.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so again, once I will repeat all these types. First one is the single. So in case of single inheritance, only one base class is available and one derived class is available. Then second one is multi-level. In case of multi-level, first one is the base class. Then next one is the second derived class, and after that again one more is derived class is available. So this is called as multi-level inheritance. Next one is the multiple inheritance. So in case of multiple inheritance, more than one base classes are available and one derived class is available. So in case of hybrid, it is nothing but combination of more than one inheritance type. So and last one is the hierarchical. So in case of hierarchical, data is again distributed into different levels. So first one by default is our true, then tree root, then next one is other leaves. Again there are the some leaves or child nodes for that particular B class. So let us start with the actual implementation with respect to this. So how you are going to access the elements from the derived class? Yes, how you are going to access? So what is the
Using
syntax for that
scope
particular?
resolution operator.
By using the scope resolution operator. So how you are going to represent that particular scope resolution operator? Yes, how you are going to represent that? Suppose this is our class A. Class A is going to hold different datas, just like members. Next one, some different methods or functions are available. Next, and suppose we have to access some data members and functions which are available inside the class A. Suppose A comma B. So these are the different data members, we have to access this a and b variable in case inside this class b. So how you are going to access this?
Class B, scope resolution operator, and then class A.
So for that particular purpose, one syntax is available. Yes, first one is the class, then name of the derived class, then by using the scope resolution operator, we are going to access the properties or functions from the upper class. Yes, for that particular purpose, we require one more important field here. In this case is the visibility mode. Means in which mode we have to access the members or functions from the upper class, and the name of the visibility and name of the base class. Okay, so this is the syntax in which manner you are going to access some member functions and features from the guys, don't write anything on the screen. Yes, you got my question? Yes, Prasad Rahul, you got my question? What will happen if suppose we will write class B, then scope resolution operator and private A? What will happen? Yes, Sakshi. When the base class is privately inherited by your derived class, then the public members of the base class becomes the private members of the derived class. Okay. So, काय होतं? Yes. Yes. If suppose we are going to access the data members from the base class with the help of private, so whatever with the public members which are available inside the base class becomes private member to your derived class. So therefore the public members of your base class are not accessible by the object of the derived class. Okay, so they will not accessible from the object of your derived class. Only it is valid for your member functions. Okay, so that's why we mark it as a private A. काय होतं समजलं? क्लिअर झालं? So once we will mark this as a private A, so
Sir, please explain it once again.
okay, I will repeat this one. So once we will mark it as a private A, so he is going to inherit some data and properties from this class A. Yes, is this valid? Is this clear?
Yes.
He is going to access some members and functions from the upper class to the lower class, means class A to the class B. If suppose we mark it as a private, then whatever with the functions and members which are publicly available in case of class A, हे काय होतील इथं खाली आल्यानंतर? They will be converted into private. Okay, and once they are converted into private, they are only accessible with respect to this class. So that's why if suppose we want only some functionality from this particular class A into only class B, and suppose we don't want that particular functionality into another class, in that case we mark it as a private.
Sir, can you give us an example?
Okay, suppose this is our add function, and Okay, this is our public access specifier, and inside that one function is available with the help of add. Okay, suppose now public add, what it will return or what will just demonstrate ते काय सांगेल, what it will return means that particular add function is available to which class, to each and every class. So who is going to inherit that particular class A, to each and every class that particular add function is available. Am I right? Because that particular add function is available inside the public specifier. Yes, clear? हे तर clear आहे का?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes.
is this clear to everyone? Okay, and
Yes, sir.
and when we want that particular function, add function inside the class B, and when we are going to mark it as a private A, what will happen inside this class B? That particular add function is converted from public to private access specifier. Okay, म्हणजे काय झालं, that particular function which is available inside the class A means that is available publicly, but when we are going to inherit with the help of private visibility mode, then that particular function is available privately inside the class B. Now suppose one more class C is going to access this particular class B. Now in this case, that particular add function is available or not? Yes?
No, it is
No.
not available.
No, it is not available because
It is private to class B.
it is only private, or it is restricted to only class B. So that's why these two different access specifiers are available. Okay, when you are going to inherit some functionality from the base class, you just mark it as a private or public as per your requirement. Okay, समजलं हे का मेन्शन करायचं आहे, आयदर दॅट पर्टिक्युलर क्लास इज फ्रॉम प्रायव्हेट और पब्लिक. समजलंय का?
Sir, one doubt is there.
Yeah, okay.
Sir, if we create another class which is derived from class A, then can we access all the functions from class A into that another class?
Okay, I will write here, then you just tell me. Okay, then class D, and he is going to
derived from class A.
Okay, which visibility mode is available, public or private? Public.
Public or private, whatever it
is. Okay. Okay, public or private.
Can we access that add function in it?
Yes, can anyone? Rutvik, yes, it is accessible.
Yes, sir.
Yes, by default. Yes, why not? It is accessible because this particular hierarchy is different. याची हायरार्की कशी झाली सांगा बघू मला. Yes, याची हायरार्की कशी झाली? Class A, class B, and then class C. And when you are going to mark this class D, scope resolution operator public and A, हा कसा ट्रीट होईल याला? Just like class D. Sakshi, you got this?
Yes, sir.
This A is means B is inherited from class A. Then next one, class C is inherited from class A, and with respect to this D is inherited from class A. So no issue with respect to this private and public with respect to class A, because add function is available by default. Inside the class A, that particular add method is available. So don't worry about that, because A is the separate base class. इथं काय झालं, मल्टिपल इनहेरिटन्स झालं ना, मल्टिपल म्हणून किंवा इथं आपण हायरार्की झाली बाय डिफॉल्ट. A इज द बेस क्लास, त्याचे काय झाले, दोन लीव्ह झाले, मीन्स B and D हे तुमचे काय झाले, these are the two different derived class, and from that B again you will get the one more class C. Okay, So add function is restricted with respect to only this C. Don't worry about this D. So add function is only restricted for that particular class C, because inside that class B add function त्याचं access specifier काय आहे तुमचा, visibility mode काय आहे तुमचा, private आहे. Okay, but in case of class D, so you are going to directly inherit from that particular class A. Okay, clear झाला का doubt? Yes, Harshal,
Yes, sir.
Jay, Mayank, Pooja.
Yes, sir.
ऋत्विक समजलं का एक्झाम्पल, विथ हेल्प ऑफ एक्झाम्पल? सेजल?
हो सर समज.
येस सेजल. Okay, so we will start with the actual demonstration with respect to single inheritance. And what will happen if suppose we mark it as a public here in case of private A? What will happen if suppose we mark it as a public class A? Then yes, Rutvik, what will happen?
We can access the other.
We can access
In class C, we can access the
In
functions in
class
class
C
C.
also.
now inside the class C we can access this particular addition function, because that particular member function which is available inside the class A, now that is available inside the class B, and from that class B again we inherit that particular add functionality from that particular class B. So that's why this particular visibility mode plays very important role. Okay, so in which manner you are going to represent or you are going to inherit that particular class? Okay, in that manner you will get the data from the base class. Okay, clear everyone? Yes, everyone clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I will show you one example with respect to yes, yes, any doubt? Okay, so I will show you one example with respect to single inheritance. Okay, simple example. Here in this example, we will just consider the different data members. Okay, so just tell me what are the different steps. IO stream, then next using the namespace the standard. Next,
Class.
we will consider the class as A. Here we will consider class as A, simple. Next, okay, now we are talking about only the data member. That then in that case, okay, we will mark it as a float type. Here we will consider as a salary as 6,000, and we are going to inherit this particular data member from the derived class. Now we will consider the yes. What is the syntax for this particular derived class?
Class B.
Class, then the name of that
B.
particular class. Next
Scope
one,
Scope resolution.
scope resolution operator. Then visibility mode, either private or public with respect to that class.
Class A.
Okay. Next, again publicly access that particular another member. We will consider as a float. Yeah, we will consider as a bonus. In case we will consider as a salary and another bonus. Don't miss this semicolon because class end with semicolon. Next, just call. Now which class we are going to call? Class B or class A? Prajakta Yadav. Which class we are going to use here, or for which class we are going to create the object? Yes, Prajakta Yadav, Pranav Khod. For which class we are going to create the object? Pooja Khajare. Yes. Mayank. for which class we are going to suppose we have to access both the members, or we have to display both the members inside the main. So by which object you are going to access both the members? Prasad, Pranav. So this particular salary variable is available inside the class A. Next, this particular bonus variable is available inside the class B. But we are going to inherit all the data members of this class A inside this class B. So this particular salary is now available, or we can access inside this class B also, because we are here in this case we have inherited all the functionalities, or we have been considered here the reusability. We have been considered here salary inside the class B. Yes. So we are going to create the object of which class? B पासून आपल्याला A मिळतोय ना. So just create the object of B class as a B1, then display that salary. How we are going to display that salary? The object name B1 dot
Salary.
B1 dot salary.
B1 dot salary, and then semicolon. And similarly, if you want to display this bonus, B1 dot the variable name as a bonus, semicolon, and then mark as a return 0. Okay. The code is visible to everyone.
Yes, sir.
If not visible, then just enlarge your screen. Screen ला मोठी केलं तर ते इझी बाय डिफॉल्ट तो विजिबल असेल कोड तुम्हाला. ओके, स्क्रीन मोठी होते ना तुमच्या इथं?
हो सर.
Yes, sir.
तुम्ही झूम करू शकता. Okay, we will check what will happen here. Bonus as a B. It's a B small. Okay. This is the result. /n. Okay, so this is the output. It will display the salary as a 6,000, and next one is the bonus as a 5,000. So I will repeat this particular code once again. Okay. So first of all, you are going to represent this as a class A. Is there any doubt inside the class A? Yes. Is there any doubt?
No, sir. No,
Okay.
sir.
Sejal, class A मध्ये काय doubt आहे का? No. We have just mentioned
No,
as a
sir.
one variable as a salary of public type. Then next one, we want that particular salary inside the class B. So how you are going to access that particular salary inside the class B? So for that particular purpose, we are using this particular part. So first middle one is the merge both these classes with the help of this particular operator. So for that particular operator is called as scope resolution operator, and this is nothing but visibility mode. Means in which manner you have to add that particular data member into this class B, either private or public. Public म्हणजे काय झाला इथं हा सॅलरी परत हा बी मधून कोणी पण दुसरीकडून ऍक्सेस करू शकतं. So that's why we have been mentioned as a public, and class A is nothing but we are going to inherit that particular class A inside the class B. Now inside this class B,